Hey, it's Barb, and recently I was asked this question, and I thought it was one that a lot of people can relate to, and it's a really good question. How can I keep my legs still? Sometimes I bump with my legs, not hard, but my horse gets numb, and I don't really even realize that I'm doing it. And so could you please give me some ideas to hold my legs still, but yet stay relaxed and not grip with my thighs? Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. So here's the first thing. I think it's important to understand why a horse gets numb to any cue. And the first thing is that if someone came up to you and pressed your arm and they were kind of asking you to move your arm over, if they just went like that and they just kept doing it, pretty soon you would push back. It's just natural. If we ask someone to do something with some light pressure or some heavy pressure, but we never release it, then they get numb. They just begin to ignore it. So that's the first thing. And I know that might seem like it's really obvious, and you go, I know that, Barb, you don't have to tell me that. But the reality is to really to understand that and apply the next point, which is to understand what you do want. Now, every discipline is different. Even though we are all connected by a common thread, that we're all riders and we all communicate with the horse, how we're instructed to use our legs and what a particular horse needs, like whether it's just calf pressure or whether we need a little bit of spur. It's really important to know what you want. So, for example, in the question, it was, I want to keep from bumping unconsciously, and also I think she said gripping with her thighs, which are all good goals to work for. The way to get there, though, is clarity in what you do want. And so the third point is that even though we're thinking about isolating this to our legs, the reality is that our bodies function so as one, including how we think is reflected in our body. So the first part of the solution starts with getting your seat in the saddle, getting your body aligned, and then having this desire to stay loose in your limbs and your seat move with your horse, so that you can more consciously make the choices of what you do want instead of trying to avoid what you don't want. And that's a very important point, because when we just hop on and we're just little and we're tight and we're thinking about this and we're thinking about that and our hands grip the reins and our legs are pressing against our horse's sides and we don't even realize it, the solution occurs in, number one, always taking a breath and coming to that kind of neutral, soft position, and then bringing to mind what you want, and then practicing it with what you do want at a walk. So, for example, in our what we want to do with legs, if I'm asking Nick to go around in a circle, and I know this is slow and with seeing that not really a lot's going on, but if I want him to be light with this leg and respond to this leg, I'm using a little bit of leg pressure there, and then I release it, and I come back to being loose, use some leg pressure, and then release it. So I'm very conscious. In this case, I would be conscious about how I use my leg, how much leg pressure, and then releasing it at a walk, and then at a trot, and then at a lope. And it's only with that loose body and, conscious connection with your legs and knowing how you're going to ask and staying slow and methodical that you develop a new skill. So I hope that helps. Diane is the one who asked the question. Hope that helps. And I hope it gives some good ideas for you for anything that you do on your horse. Have a great week and leave a comment for me.